Arsenal set to land PSG superstar. Mourinho's Premier League comeback. Amorim'S first marquee signing at Manchester United. Alphonso Davies snubs Real Madrid for Barca link-up with Hansi Flick. And that's just for starters in today's roundup. Ready to dive in? Right then, let's crack on. Barcelona seems to have finally squeezed not just a bag of money out of Nike, but an entire lorry load. Yes, Laporta is truly the master of bluffing and negotiations, the poker face of world football, if you will. First, he threatened to jump ship to competitors, then moaned about market realities. And hey presto, the Americans caved in, coughing up record sums. Word has it, no European giant has ever seen anything like it, but here's where it gets interesting. Now, here's the question. Will this windfall actually help Barca? The answer is likely not. Picture this. You've won the lottery, but they tell you, we'll give you the money bit by bit, but your debts need sorting yesterday. That's Barca's predicament. Nobody's going to write them a £100 million check straight away, yet they needed the money yesterday to comply with financial fair play and register new signings like Dani Olmo. The deadline's looming, La Liga's waiting for the paperwork, and Barca, well, Barca's counting pennies that only exist on paper for now. But don't write off Laporta just yet. The man's got form for wriggling out of tight spots. What's he got up his sleeve this time? Another economic lever? A mysteriously convenient injury to some player to save on wages, or perhaps he'll flog the pitch turf at auction. Honestly, nothing would surprise me anymore. 4 years into Laporta's reign, and the financial situation's still as dodgy as ever, it looks like Barcelona's building a sandcastle at high tide, with financial fair play waves threatening to wash it all away at any moment. And Nike, they're no mugs either. They've come out with all this guff about new strategic partnerships, deep commitment to innovation, and 4 decades of remarkable football. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? But behind all the fancy PR speak lies simple business sense. Barcelona's a cash cow brand, and Nike's happy to pay to milk it. 1.82 billion euros over 14 seasons? Not too shabby at all. But remember, that money's coming in dribs and drabs. So folks, keep your eyes peeled. Will Barcelona return to the one-in one-out rule? Can they register Olmo, or has Laporta got another ace up his sleeve? The plot thickens, and like you, I'm on tenterhooks, waiting to see how this financial soap opera unfolds. In the meantime, let's have a punt. What other levers might Laporta dream up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you caught wind of next summer's biggest transfer saga? No, not Mbappé. That ship has sailed. The spotlight's now on Alphonso Davies. This Canadian wonder kid, who's been absolutely flying at Bayern, looks set to pack his bags. And core, what a queue of suitors. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, they're all lined up like it's pie and mash for a quid. Let's be honest though, Barca and United are mere bit part players in this drama. Yes, Hansi Flick's desperate for a Davies reunion, but it's in Madrid where they're rubbing their hands with glee. Real Madrid, with their defense looking as solid as a chocolate fireguard, see Alphonso as their savior. Just imagine him bombing down one flank while Vinicius terrorizes the other. Poor opposition won't know whether they're coming or going. What about Barcelona then? Alejandro Balde's decent enough, but let's call a spade a spade. He's gone a bit soft without proper competition. And there's Flick, the very man who transformed Davies into a left-back. Seems written in the stars, doesn't it? Or is it all a crafty ploy? Hang on though, have Barca actually got any dosh? Or are they planning to flog more shirt promise schemes? Picture this. Davies rocks up at Real Madrid and bags the winner in El Clasico. Barca fans pulling their hair out, while Laporta's chewing his tie to bits. Meanwhile, Man United's quietly chuffed, watching these two heavyweights slug it out, even if they've missed out themselves. Proper laugh, isn't it? The whole Davies situation is like a summer-long soap opera, each episode bringing fresh gossip, insider knowledge, and those classic airport snaps. And just when everyone's had enough, he'll choose. Well, we'll have to wait until 2025 for that bombshell. For now, we'll just have to keep our powder dry and watch this space. As they say, blink and you'll miss it. Chelsea's eyes are back on Victor Osimhen, and they're burning bright. Yes, the very same Osimhen who's been lighting it up at Galatasaray, where he seems to have found a bit of a temporary home. You know how it is. He came, he saw, he scored. So now it seems Chelsea have decided they need Osimhen. No two ways about it. And it looks like they're ready to splash some serious cash. But there's a catch. Galatasaray wouldn't mind holding on to the Nigerian striker themselves. Only problem? Napoli's got steep asking prices. We're talking 50 million euros, maybe even 75 million euros in January. Well, let's see who outplays whom here. Osimhen himself? Oh, he's playing it smart. 1 minute he's saying how happy he is in Turkey, how he's been welcomed like family. Then the next, bam! He hints that if Napoli and Galatasaray fancy a bit of a negotiation, he'll have a listen. Fair play to him, he's keeping the suspense alive. Picture it. Chelsea kicking themselves, thinking back to the summer when they didn't fork out for the Nigerian. Meanwhile, he's ripping through Spurs' defence in the Europa League and showing everyone he's far from finished. Now, with his price tag slightly more reasonable, the Blues look ready to pounce. But as they say, it's a bit late to close the stable door, isn't it? Or is it? What if Osimhen actually sticks with Galatasaray? Can you imagine what a blow that'd be to Chelsea's ambitions? And really, why would he leave all the love and adoration in Turkey for the constant chaos of a London club? There's the intrigue, there's the drama. Oh, and about that contract. Word is there's some odd clause about 10 unnamed clubs who can trigger a buyout for Osimhen in January. Who's this mystery 10? And more importantly, is Chelsea on that list? And here's the kicker. Osimhen says he'll stay at Galatasaray until the end of the season. But we all know how quickly a player's mind changes when a fat offer's on the table. So, hold your bets, everyone. This could change in an instant. For now, let's watch this space and wait for the next twist. The French national team is on the brink of chaos. Who would have thought that after all those successes with Didier Deschamps, the players might just decide to stage a mutiny? According to well-known journalist Romain Molina, the French stars are absolutely fed up with Deschamps' methods. 12 years at the helm, a World Cup victory in 2018. It should all be perfect, right? But apparently, things aren't quite so rosy in the French camp. And now there are louder calls than ever for none other than Zinedine Zidane to take the manager's seat. Who else really? A footballing legend, a man who knows how to win and inspire. With Zizou currently without a job, the timing couldn't be more ideal for his return. But here's the twist. The French Football Federation has decided to extend Deschamps' contract until 2026, after the Euros in 2024. Are they even aware of what's happening within the team? Or do they think they know better than the players? Now for the real bombshell, team captain Kylian Mbappé is reportedly refusing to play for the national side. The reason? A massive fallout with Deschamps. Word is, Mbappé's even considering ending his international career. If that's not a red flag, what is? To crank up the drama, Deschamps has left Mbappé out of the squad for the upcoming Nations League matches. The official reason? Poor form at Real Madrid. And that's not all. Antoine Griezmann abruptly retired from international duty in September. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. It's looking more and more like a full-scale rebellion. With France's matches against Israel and Italy looming, Deschamps now has more than just points to worry about. He's fighting for his job. The big question, can he convince the players to stand by him? Or is Zidane already packing his bags ready to take over? Imagine the French team under Zidane's leadership. A fresh style, new energy, maybe even another winning streak. Or will it all stay the same, with the team's issues running deeper than they appear? Can Deschamps put down a rebellion in his own house? Or will Zidane finally get the job of his dreams? Stay tuned, we'll be following every twist and turn. Randal Kolo Muani, the lad who was lighting it up at Frankfurt, now finds himself gathering dust on PSG's bench. Looks like Luis Enrique's decided Randal's not his mate. What's that all about? They shelled out serious cash for him, yet now he's just parked on the bench? Makes no sense, does it? Now imagine this. Kolo Muani's sitting there, watching Messi head to Miami, Neymar off to Saudi Arabia, and he's still in Paris, but with 0 minutes on the pitch. Must be maddening. Actually, not just maddening, humiliating. And then, as if by magic, along comes Arsenal. London, the Premier League, Mikel Arteta. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? But let's be real, folks. Kolo Muani at PSG this season is like a picture without a frame. It's all there, but something's missing. Or maybe the frame's too pricey and the picture's just not a masterpiece. Seems that's how Enrique sees it. And in a way, I get it. 6 goals and 5 assists in League One. Decent, but not enough for PSG's ambitions. Or was he just never given a proper chance? Bit of a mystery that. PSG seems to be banking on his performances for France to keep his transfer value up. You know, like, this isn't just any apple, it's an apple from Zidane's private collection. But with Randal left riding the pine, his value keeps dropping. And now there's Arsenal on the horizon, like a lifeline. The Gunners have been struggling to convert their chances, goals are hard to come by, and here's this ideal fit, a forward who can drop deep, link up with the midfield, hold the ball and create chances, as well as finish them off. Sounds like the perfect solution, right? But hang on, isn't it all a bit too smooth? Where's the catch? The catch is there's a whole queue for Kolo Muani. City, United, West Ham, they all want a piece of the French pie. Picture the auction. Arteta lifts his paddle, Guardiola ups the bid. What a spectacle! So, who's going to win? And here's another thought. Friends, maybe Kolo Muani just isn't cut out for PSG. Maybe he needs a different manager, a different league, a new vibe. 4 goal contributions for France isn't a joke. Maybe all he needs is a real shot. Arsenal's proposing a loan to see how Randal handles the Premier League. Smart move. Imagine Kolo Muani stepping out at the Emirates, netting the winner against Spurs. The fans go wild, Arteta's rubbing his hands with glee, and somewhere in Paris, Enrique's kicking himself. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But as they say, let's wait and see. Let's watch closely to see where Randal Kolo Muani lands. It's bound to be interesting, promise. Alright folks, ready for the next big drama? Jose Mourinho, our favourite special one, is apparently missing England and already has his eye on Newcastle. While Eddie Howe's there, trying to lift the Magpies out of mid-table, Jose's probably already picturing himself in a club scarf, giving interviews about his great project. Hilarious, right? Imagine it for a second. Mourinho at Newcastle. How's that for a plot twist? On one hand, you've got the charisma, the scandals, the intrigue, the full package we all know and love. Journalists would be in heaven and the headlines would be absolutely bonkers. But on the other hand, does Newcastle really need all that circus? Or is it stability and steady progress? Howe's speciality, that's more important? Mind you, Eddie himself seems blissfully unaware that someone's already eyeing his job. He's just there, dreaming of trophies and European nights. Bless him. And what do the Newcastle fans think? Bet they're split down the middle. Some are shouting, "Jose, come and save us," while others are probably praying the special one stays in Turkey where, in his words, it's grey, bleak and smells funny. Oh, remember when Mourinho complained about the Turkish league? Said it was boring and that no one watches it? But the Premier League? Now, that's the big time. You can just see him in Istanbul, staring wistfully at the misty shores of Albion, counting the sterling that Newcastle's Saudi owners might be ready to throw his way. This story's just getting started. We'll keep an eye on it and wonder, will the special one actually return to the Premier League, or will Eddie Howe manage to hang on to his place in the sun? Or is it all just another rumour that'll blow over? What do you reckon? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the latest football news. Remember when Manchester United were eyeing up Jarrad Branthwaite from Everton over the summer like a cat after cream? Yes, that same lad who was a star at the back for the Toffees last season. Well, looks like the Red Devils are thinking of having another crack at him. But here's the twist. In the summer, United balked at the £70 million price tag, calling it a bit steep. So what's changed now? Have they suddenly found a money tree? Or are they hoping Branthwaite's value has magically dipped since he's spending more time warming Sean Dyche's bench? Picture it. Ruben Amorim rings up Everton and says, "All right lads, he's gathering dust on the bench. How about letting him go for half the price?" Hilarious, right? And now it gets juicy. Dyche is as stubborn as they come. He's not too keen on letting his diamond go mid-season, especially with Everton battling for survival. But on the other hand, the Toffees aren't exactly rolling in cash. Branthwaite's under contract until 2027, so maybe they should sell him while his value's still up. Dyche seems a bit tangled up over him too. One minute he says it's too soon to play Branthwaite, then he's complaining that the lad's injured again. Meanwhile, United are circling like vultures. Word is Ineos are interested, but apparently they're not exactly flush with cash either. This could end up being a total circus. Honestly, the whole saga's starting to feel like a soap opera. Branthwaite's either playing, injured or benched. United either want him or don't want to splash the cash. Everton either don't want to sell him or they're realising they may have to. And now there are whispers of pairing him up with Euro. Imagine that duo in the heart of defence. Dream team, eh? But let's be realistic, folks. United are a team who can't seem to figure out where to throw their money, and they've got problems coming out their ears. So all this talk about Branthwaite might just be pie in the sky. Although, you never know. Tomorrow, United could chuck down the millions, and Branthwaite could end up being the next Ferdinand. Stranger things have happened in football, right? Oh, and don't go anywhere. I've got another sizzling bit of news coming up. Declan Rice is absolutely relentless. He'd do anything for Arsenal, even if it means playing with a broken toe. Yeah, you heard that right. 116 million euros, a fee that would make most players' knees wobble. But for Rice, water off a duck's back. He's blasted into the team like a rocket, snapping at every challenge and even banging in goals. Defensive midfielder, where? And now it gets interesting. His toe's broken. He can't even get his boot on, but he's still up for battling Chelsea, and then England duty straight after. Is this guy even human? Or is he some kind of footballing Terminator, programmed to win at all costs? But here's the question. Is it really worth it, Declan? So, you've broken a toe, missed the intermatch, they'll give you painkillers. And then what? Make it worse and you're out for months? Arsenal fans are already over the moon. They're ready to carry him on their shoulders, shouting, "Here's our real captain!" And honestly, I get it. Who wouldn't want that sort of player in their squad? Someone who'll go to the ends of the earth for the badge. But let's be real, risking your health for one game, even a big one, is a gamble. And not just any game, it's Chelsea. Can you imagine the intensity, the pressure? Arteta's in a tricky spot. On one hand, Rice is a fighter, a leader who can inspire the whole squad just by being there. On the other, risking the health of such a key player. And then there's this obsession with playing for England. Declan, mate, calm down. Get yourself sorted, then worry about the heroics. So, what'll it be? Will Arteta play him or wrap him in cotton wool? Or will Declan himself have a change of heart? Or maybe we'll see him out there with a bandaged toe, tearing up the pitch like nothing's happened. It's anyone's guess, ladies and gents. It's anyone's guess. What do you reckon? Is it worth the sacrifice? Or should Arteta rein in this relentless warrior? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. And stay tuned, there's more to come. Has Madrid's defensive fortress crumbled? Well, nearly. Injuries are absolutely decimating their backline, leaving Ancelotti tearing his hair out and weighing up his options. And then, bang! Up pops Laporte's name, yes, the one from Al Nassr. But are Real Madrid seriously considering picking up a player from the Saudi League? Is this really the lifeline that'll keep the ship afloat? So, Laporte, in the summer, he was batting away rumours, claiming there was nothing in it. But now that Real Madrid are in a pickle, turns out he's quite keen on a European return. Coincidence? I think not. Word on the street is Real are already looking for ways to terminate his contract. A free transfer? Sounds tasty, but Laporte, are you really what we need? Or is this just a desperate punt? What about bringing back good old Sergio Ramos? Word has it, Ancelotti's well up for it. Picture this. Ramos returns like the prodigal son, shores up the defense, and becomes the hero. Lovely narrative, isn't it? But then there's Perez. As we all know, he's not one for second chances. Seems the bad blood with Ramos hasn't quite cleared up. But let's be honest, mates, where else will you find someone with that kind of experience and understanding of Real Madrid? Is there actually anyone better suited than Ramos for this role? Rhetorical question, that. Imagine the drama. Ancelotti pleading with Perez, fans chanting Ramos's name, and Perez isn't having any of it. Seems he'd rather do anything than admit he got it wrong. Or perhaps he just doesn't fancy a 38-year-old Ramos as the savior, or maybe it's all about old grievances. The agent-brother drama, the public spats, all that palaver. Looks like Perez has decided the past should stay in the past. Real Madrid are like a cat on hot bricks. Laporte, Ramos, or some mystery third option we haven't caught wind of yet. What a saga this is turning into. Madrid are desperately seeking salvation, while we're all trying to guess who they'll pull out of the hat. Whatever happens, it'll be a proper watch.